All right. Welcome. We have arrived at class 8 of our beginner series. We've gone through all kinds of stuff, right? The 8 limbs of yoga, how to breathe, how to move slowly into seated positions. We've learned warrior. We've gone through back bends, right? Breathing exercises, I think I just said that. We've learned the basics of meditation. So let's see about putting all of these things together, shall we? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So make sure that you have a blanket and a block for today's practice. And we will start in a standing position. So come to the top of your mat. Your feet are hip distance apart. The navel draws in. You feel your hips get nice and balanced. Hips are stacked above the heels, and then you feel your shoulders stack above your hips. Feel long through your spine. And remember, we also went through the basics of sun salutations. So let's work some breath and movement. Inhale through the nose, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And let's tap into our Ujjayi breathing. So as we inhale and reach the arms up, and exhale and bring the hands down, the breath moves in and out of the nose. On the exhales, we have a gentle constriction through the back of the throat that creates an ocean-like sound. When you're ready, exhale, fold all the way forward as you hinge at the hips. Fingertips come down to the mat, gaze forward in our flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Remember, your hands could be on your shins, knees can be bent. Right foot steps back, knee lowers down. Untuck the toes, sweep the hands up and back in your Anjaneyasana. Stabilize here, squeeze through the upper arms to send your fingertips back. And then slowly bring your fingers forward and down, tuck the toes, right knee lifts, and step yourself forward. Ardha Uttanasana, gaze forward, flat back, and fold. Uttanasana. Ujjayi breathing, inhale, gaze forward. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back, lower the knee down. Remember, you can use a blanket under your knee. Untuck the toes, sweep the hands up and back. We want strength in the legs and in the arms, as well as softening. Feel the shoulder blades move downwards, and then bring the hands forward and down. Tuck your left toes, float the knee up, step forward. Flat back, breathe in, and fold, breathe out. Grab onto your ankles and just gently pull up on your ankles as if you're trying to pull your upper body down. Make sure your belly's on your thighs. And then slowly come into your flat back and stand up. Good. Stick with that Ujjayi breath. Reach out and up. Into the heart. Out and up. Into the heart. 3 more. Work your lungs. 2. 1. As you exhale, hands come down through heart center, hinge at the hips, navel draws in, fold forwards, fingertips find the ground. Plant your palms, step the right foot back and the left foot back. You're in your plank pose, breathing in. And then breathing out, lower your knees without dipping your hips. Draw the chest forwards, elbows in, and chest comes down. And then let your hips come to the ground. Untuck your toes in a cobra pose, lifting up the chest. Elbows still pull in and back. And then just push yourself up to table. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Find a really nice squeeze of your upper arms, pulling inwards. So as if your triceps were wrapping into your face as your upper arms hug in and your index fingers push down. Bend your knees. Lift your bum a little bit more. Feel your neck get long as your ears align with the biceps. And there's a sensation of the crown of your head reaching to the space between your thumbs as you squeeze your arms. And then slowly look forward, step the feet all the way up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stand up. Good. Inhale, circle the hands up. Exhale the hands all the way down to your heart. Pause here, close the eyes for a moment. Just check in with your heart rate, check in with your mindset. Remember, it's about the journey, it's not about achieving some sort of perfect posture. You're perfect as you are, as we all are, or none of us are perfect. Pick one and just keep going. Let it be. Let yourself be. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge forwards. Lowering the hands down to the ground, flat back, inhale. And then right foot steps back and lower your right heel down. So we have our warrior stance. Now remember to pull your right hip forward, left hip back as we're moving into warrior one. So hips face forward, hands sweep up. Maybe your palms come together. Contain the front ribs, so don't push your chest forwards. Keep the ribs contained. Arms are hugging, legs are strong, left hip is tucked behind the left knee. We breathe in and we breathe out. Back leg is strong, right foot is at about a 45-degree angle. And then slowly reach your hands forward and down. Unhook your back heel and step into plank. Squeeze your arms. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Pull the chest forwards as hips come down, untuck toes, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. And then push yourself all the way back, tuck your toes again, downward dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Look forward to your hands and walk the feet up to the hands. Flat back, gaze forward, and then stand up. Good. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, hands down through the heart and fold forwards again. Strong legs. Fingertips find the ground. Left foot steps back as you bend into the right knee. Left heel lowers down, so the left toes are out at about a 45-degree angle. Feel your right hip pull back and left hip pull slightly forward as you focus grounding through the feet. Draw your navel in, press your feet down, reach the hands forward and up. Come into your warrior one on this side. Notice that incredible stability through your foundation. Notice your ability to breathe here and stay nice and tall through the spine. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, hands come forward and down to the mat, unhook back heel, step back plank, One more like this, lower the knees, chest and chin, and then pull yourself forwards. Bhujangasana cobra pose as the hips are down. And then just push yourself up and back into your downward dog. Breathe in and out. Good. Now from here, nice and slowly turn your left toes back out on a 45 and then step your right foot between the hands. So we're stepping into a lunge. Sweep the hands all the way up, right hand forward, left hand back. We're in warrior two. Breathe in and out. Make sure shoulders are stacked above the hips. Right knee is above the right ankle. Left foot can step wider if that's better for your balance. Hands are shoulder height. We gaze over the front hand. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. And then when you're ready, left hand to the left leg, right hand reaches back. Keep your right knee bent. Exalted warrior. And then slowly, both hands come forward and down to the ground. Unhook your back heel, step, plank. You can go knees, chest, and chin, or one straight line down into your chaturanga, and then roll your toes forward and over, upward dog as the chest lifts, knees are off the ground, and then we're back, downward dog, rolling over the toes. Squeezing the arms. Good. Right toes turn out to the right. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Hips are open this time. Inhale, lift yourself up into your warrior two. So arms are nice and wide, left hand forward, right hand back. Right foot on about a 45-degree angle, shoulders above the hips. So we don't want to be reaching way forwards. Stay nice and stacked. Long spine, gaze over your front hand. Ujjayi breathing. Expand your belly, contract your belly, stay with it. Bring your right hand to your right leg, your left hand reaches up, keep the bend in your left knee. And then inhale yourself up, both hands forward and down. Unhook your back heel, step back, plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, or remember you can do your cobra here, and then downward dog. And then nice and slowly, just bring your knees down to the mat. Bring the knees as wide as the mat and sit your bum back. You might want to use your block and let your forehead rest. And shift from your Ujjayi breathing now to simple balanced breathing. So that is equal inhales and exhales. The breath moves in and out of the nose, but you don't need to do that constricting of the throat on the exhales. So just let everything flow nice and smooth. Inhales are the same length as the exhales. And then inhale. When you're ready, we'll come all the way up. Beautiful. So we'll practice just a little bit more standing stuff and then we'll get down. So let's shift back to our table, adjust your knees under the hips, tuck the toes, come into your downward dog. Good. So we practice keeping the hips nice and balanced here. So that means don't open your hips, but sweep the right leg up and back with your toes pointing down. And just feel your right heel move away from you. Maybe your left heel can come closer down to the ground. Maybe it can't. Just be where you can. And then just slowly bring your right foot down to the mat. And then sweep your left leg up and back with those toes pointing down. Working the right heel closer to the ground as you work the left heel toward the ceiling. Keep squeezing your arms. Hopefully you're building some heat here. And then bring that left foot down. Beautiful. Look forwards, walk your feet up to your hands. Flat back on a breath in, gazing forward, and then stand up on your breath out. Okay. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, hands sweep forward and up. As we exhale, pull the bum back and down in your chair pose, Utkatasana. Build a little bit more heat here. Good. Another breath in. And then exhale, straighten the legs. Bring the arms down into the sides and make fists just like you're pulling your elbows in. And then inhale, reach the arms away, sit back down. Exhale, stand up, pull the elbows in. Inhale, reach. Keep the weight in your heels. Come all the way up. 2 more. Like you're pushing yourself down and then pulling yourself up. 1 more time. Good. And then just relax the hands down. Give the legs a little shake. Beautiful. Okay. So let's try Warrior 3. This is a wonderful beginner balance pose. So setting a solid foundation through your feet and let your hands just be down by your sides. It's often easier to start reaching them back. So start to hinge your upper body forward as you start to inch your right foot back. So you're kind of just doing a little timber thing. You're just tipping over a little bit. So you can play with that. Stay strong in your left leg. As it's available, maybe you can hinge your upper body further forward as you reach your hands back or forward, or even keep your hands on that left thigh. Let's come all the way back. So we'll work on that a little bit. This is especially great if you find this super challenging. Bend into that left knee just enough so you can put the hands on the thigh and then float your back leg. And then lower the back toes. Good. And then try it again, float it up. And then you can practice straightening the left leg. And then slowly bring the toes down, release to step forward. Yeah, getting some good reps in. So let's try the other side. So we're rooting into the right foot. And then just start kind of tipping your upper body a bit forward so you notice how you're going to catch your weight in your right leg. And just start sweeping your left foot back a little bit. So you're testing your balance here, right? You also want to pay attention and make sure you don't just like dump your weight to one side. Keep everything centralized. And then as you come here, maybe you can hinge forwards and the back leg lifts up a little bit. Hands reach back. And then we come back down with the toes. Then you can try bending into the right knee a bit, bringing the hands onto the thigh, pressing into the thigh as you then float the back leg up. Breathe, lower back leg down. Good, again, lift it up. And lower down. Let's do one more time. Keep the right hip in check. Lift the left leg up. Maybe you can practice straightening the right leg. And then slowly bend the knee. Lower left toes, step forward. Shake it out. Okay. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward as the hands come down through heart center. You hinge at the hips. Fingertips find the ground. Gaze forward, flat back. And then plant your palms. Walk back into plank. One more flow. Do what suits you. Hopefully you're building some heat. We'll meet in downward dog. Breathe in and out. And then slowly lower your knees to the mat and come to sit on your shins. So you may want to use your blanket for this, or you may even want to use your block as we move into Virasana or Hero's Pose. So lifting your hips away from your heels, open your feet about or just a little wider than your hips, and set the block between your ankles and sit your hips down. You want your heels outside your hips. So we can stay right here. We'll be here for a few minutes, so please choose the variation that's the easiest for you right now. So you could have the hips on a block on its medium setting. You could go down to its lowest setting. And you can go eventually down to the floor. And we just pause. Sit tall as you interlace your fingers and send the palms to the ceiling with straight arms. Breathe in and out. Reach the palms up, get nice and long through those arms, big stretch. And then slowly undo through the hands, let them circle out and down. And bring your palms to your thighs, pausing here for a moment. And hopefully you chose the easy position for you to be in so that you still feel very comfortable in this position. Just a few more cycles of breath. Balanced breathing in and out of the nose, equal inhales and exhales. Each time you breathe in, just say to yourself in your mind, I am inhaling or I am breathing in. And when you breathe out, I am exhaling or I am breathing out. Whatever is simple for you to just simply become aware of the breath moving in and out of your body. And then when you're ready, just nice and slowly start to shift your hips up and off the block. Eventually walk your hands forwards, set the block aside, and then sweep your feet to one side and then around front as you sit on the bum. Now you will probably want a blanket for your hips. So we're coming wide with the legs. So as you go wide with the legs, you need to make sure that you're not leaning back like this, okay? If that's happening, you've got some tilting happening in your pelvis, okay? You're likely feeling your pubic bone pull up to your face and you're like rolling on the back of your sit bones. So we want to roll to the bottom of the sit bones. So you can simply just tuck the blanket. You don't even necessarily need to sit on it. Just tuck it behind so you create a wedge so that your pelvis can sit neutral. So now you feel your pubic bone facing forward, your sacral bone is facing backward. Yeah? And we stay here. So once you've got yourself all adjusted, then we have the feet and the legs, I should say, open nice and wide. We want the thighs knees, shins, and toes facing up. Okay, so check yourself out and make sure you're not wavering in or out. You can point the toes. This is fabulous for helping the muscles understand that they need to stay in this space, in this one place, as best as we can, or you can flex the feet. Both give a bit of a different stretch. I'm going to flex my feet for now. You may still want your block nearby, as we will gently bring the hands forward, but if it feels challenging still for you to sit tall, bring your hands behind you and pull your chest forward. Okay? But if it is available, your hands can come forward and maybe your elbows can even come down. But it's not like a competition, right? This is a journey to yourself. So simply going to the space that you need to be today without judgment, because it doesn't matter. This pose, all of these postures will be different every day, and they're supposed to be, because we're a little bit different every day. So settling in here just for a bit, we got nice and warm today, so we want to give the body time to cool down, time to absorb everything that we moved through. Equal balance through inhales and exhales. Notice how your breath has already slowed down. Maybe you're even able to breathe a little bit more clearly. Notice any differences between the sides. And then nice and slow, start to bring yourself up. Moving slowly, just rotate your upper body to face your right leg. So one hand in front, one hand behind. And you can stay here, just directing your chest toward your right shin. And as it's available, take a really easy hinge over your right leg. No need to fold very deep. We want to keep the left sit bone glued down to the ground so your hips are anchored into the mat. Just adjusting the stretch through elsewhere in the body. Like around here, the quadratus lumborum on the left side. You may even feel this deeper on the inner legs. Who knows what's going on for you? Just observe, breathe, be kind. Inhale when you're ready, come all the way up. Gently come back to center. We want to move slow. Enjoy your breath in and out. And then make your rotation over to the left. And slowly hinge over your left leg. Full breath in. And full breath out. Gently come all the way back up through to center. Hands come to the inner knees. Slowly lean back and bend your knees to bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. So butterfly pose or cobbler's pose. Bring your heels in toward your body. We still want to sit nice and tall here, so you could still have that blanket or block or whatever you need, anchoring those hips to a neutral place. And then from here, we can draw the heart forwards. You can keep your hands on your ankles. You could bring your hands to your inner knees to help press the outer thighs closer to the ground. Alternately, you can have blocks underneath your outer shins, and you can gently fold forward from there with your hands on the mat. So you are going to find what suits you today. Oftentimes I like to use blocks here. Today I feel like pressing my knees down. And if you are choosing to press your knees down, the trick is to do it and then be able to let go and have the legs stay there, so that you're not really using much physical force to get there and or to maintain it. So you're really just giving yourself a bit of assistance, but you are doing it without using a lot of pressure or force with the hands. So if you're doing this and you're like pushing down super hard, but every time you lift up, your knees kind of spring up, you need to wake up the muscles through the outer legs so that you can get them down without needing to force. And that can take a lot of time and practice, right? So be patient with yourself and just observe. Meet yourself where you are. That's what we all need to do. And we're all at slightly different places. Breathe in and out. And then when you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. Use your hands to help close your knees together. Lean back enough as you need to, or as much as you need to, and then just shake it out. If you were using the blanket behind your hips, just take a moment to set it aside. Come into stillness. Inch your hips just a bit forward so you can slowly lay down onto your back. Keep the knees bent and the feet on the mat. And then grab your block. Press your feet down and lift your hips up, so lifting from your pubic bone, and then slide your block underneath the hips on its second highest setting. If that's too much, you can use the lower one. We want to have that block under the sacral bone or the back of the hips, so it should feel good for you letting your hips rest on the block. It should feel nice for your spine. It should feel like a nice bit of release, and if it doesn't, you might have the block in the wrong spot, or it might be a bit too high for you. So going to that lower setting is really great. Shoulder blades tuck underneath. Your neck is long. Arms just relax out to the sides. Breathe in and out of the nose. And then slowly push into your feet. Get strong in your hips to lift them away from the block. Set the block aside and gently from top to bottom, let your spine come down. Use the belly muscles to control the action. Nice and easy. Right knee pulls into the chest. Hands wrap around the shin or the back of the thigh. Left leg lengthens down. Breathe in and breathe out. Easy twist, left hand outside the right knee pulls over and down to the left as the right arm reaches to the right. You could place your right knee on a block if the stretch feels a little bit too deep. Open your heart, reach out through those right fingertips. Breathe in and out of the nose. And then slowly come all the way back to center. Bring the sole of your right foot down to the mat. Left knee pulls into chest, hands on the shin or behind the thigh. Right leg lengthens down. Enjoy your stretch here in Apanasana, wind relieving pose. Wonderful posture to use if you've got indigestion. Right side first, then left side. Now let's twist. Right hand outside, left knee. Bring that knee down to the ground as you extend and reach out to the left with your left hand. Smooth, steady breath. Enjoy the spaces that open for you here. And then slowly release. Come back to center. Make sure your hips feel nice and neutral. Your shoulder blades are flat. Your neck is long, so adjust your head if you need to. And then extend your right leg out. Then your left leg out. Legs are about as wide as your mat. Arms are at about 45 degrees from the body. Eyes are closed if that's comfortable for you. And we breathe in and out of the nose in our Shavasana. This is an extremely important posture that allows the body and the nervous system time to process and integrate what we've gone through, what we've moved through physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So if your eyes are closed, tune into the space behind your eyelids, observing the backs of your eyes like a fuzzy TV screen. Without judgment or expectation, continue to observe these spaces and breathe in and out of the nose. Each time you inhale, you expand completely. And each exhale, you feel every last little bit of breath squeeze out. Feel the breath spread across the backside of your body. Feel your body sink into the mat. Feel the breath move across the front side of your body. Noticing that sense of release, of lightness, of moving upwards, of weightlessness. Notice that sense of expansion and contraction as you are aware of your breath. You are aware of this ability through every cell in your body. Feel the support of the ground coming up to meet your body. And feel your body open a little bit more. Inhaling. When you're ready, just gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And rotate your wrists and ankles. And reach your arms overhead. Enjoy a nice stretch. Relax. We'll bend through one knee and then the other. And then just slowly bring the knees into the chest one at a time. Give yourself a gentle hug. You can wrap your arms around whatever feels good. Little rock side to side. And then nice and slowly roll to the right. Press yourself up. Come into a seat that's comfortable for you. Let's bring the palms either to the thighs or in front of the heart in prayer. And draw a complete breath all the way in and all the way out. And thank you all for joining me in this beginner series, and I hope you feel a little bit more confident in your yoga practice. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And of course, if there are questions, comments, concerns, whatever, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you very much for being here, everyone. I sure hope you enjoyed this journey and that, yeah, you feel stronger in your practice. So there's lots more to go and grow from here. So I can't wait to see you again on the mat. Much love, everyone.